Today we're talking about an ARG on the channel that's been going on for like 10 months, but it is no longer going to go on. And that's what this video is about. We're ending the ARG. And you might be wondering, what ARG? And that's exactly why we're gonna end it. Basically, this thing is non-existent. It's an ARG that I wrote up, and I have a script for, and a storyboard or whatever for the ARG, like a story of what is happening in it. But the way that I presented it through videos is so incoherent that it just kind of looks cool. And that's like all there is to it. And I could go back through and try to salvage the ARG, try to fix my mistakes, make it make sense and connect all the dots. But the amount of time and effort that would take is so much more than just like restarting, because that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to make a new ARG that has nothing to do with this one, completely disconnected from this in every single way, because this one, at the end of the day, it just don't make sense. It just don't make sense. It does on paper, it makes sense on the thing that I wrote down, but it doesn't make sense in actual practicality. So, to explain what's happening in the ARG, now that we're done with it, we might as well just go full on, explain everything, and that's what we're gonna do. So, the ARG was about 3 different people that got backroomed. They got thrown into a weird dimension, type of thing, and every single one, all the different people had a different dimension that they were thrown in. And the 3 people in the ARG are the ones that actually lived those places. Everyone else that went to those places or got demonetized. I can't say that word on YouTube. So then those 3 people, for surviving, get rewarded by being placed inside of this room. This is the room they get. And one of them is not rewarded, one of them is tortured for surviving, one of them is rewarded for surviving, and the other one is just kind of neutral, not really rewarded but not really tortured or anything. So the one tortured one is the possessed guy with the shadow face, and the one not tortured one is the one that's in basically every single video. And then the third guy, he's just there to do research. Basically, he showed up and nothing really affected him, so he's just doing research now, teleporting around the place, writing down shit, whatever's important. So these 3 people are locked in the same room basically, but they can't really see each other, except for through the camera, which, when the one guy was recording videos, then the other people show up and all that in the background, and it looks really cool and they're creepy, but it didn't make sense. Putting it into a video just kind of didn't make sense, because when it's in a video format, you don't get the story, you don't understand it, you just kind of see a shadow figure of me standing behind me, and it's like, oh, that's cool, but it doesn't mean shit, if you know the context, then it means stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But if you don't know the context, then it's completely pointless. So that's basically the story. That was the story. There was a little bit more to it than that, but we won't get into that because we're kind of running out of time. My camera's about to die. So yeah, that was the ARG, but we're gonna end it prematurely, because we didn't make it very clear, and it wasn't very interesting. And on top of that, having the ARG active is very limiting, because first of all, I can't leave this room, and second of all, I can't wear this shirt or my jacket or my hoodie, because it gives away that I'm that person, for the ARG. So it was very limiting. Also, I couldn't sit in a chair. Now we have a chair in the background. There's a chair back there. We're going to be using that in videos maybe. Depends on how I feel, honestly. Because I've been sitting on the floor for 2 years. Using my knees to sit on the floor. We're just floor ganging it. But yeah, basically, now we have a lot more options. And those options could involve going outside, we can do straight up vlogs now that we're not tied down to the ARG. Not that I probably won't, honestly, because part of the whole reason that the ARG took place in a single room, my characters were locked up in a single room, is because kind of don't leave this room because I live in a terrible town. I don't like this town at all. The town that I live in, I'm not gonna say the town that I live in or anything like that, but I will say that there's a lot of people that do drugs and there's a lot of crime, and I don't like it. So, you know, I don't really go out and like, you know, talk to people in this city, because every time I do, I'm like, oh, I hate you. I don't like, and you know, I'm a pretty nice guy. Usually it's really hard to make me like angry or make me upset at something. But the people in this town, I cannot stress how bad they are. They're so like just racism and homophobia everywhere, and like, oh, they're, you know, complaining about the Mexicans and all that. It's awful. But we're not gonna go into how terrible my town is. We're gonna talk about the ARG. But if any of you were wondering why the ARG took place in a single room, that's the reason. Is because I don't want to go out on the town and like record stuff, because I don't like this town. That's the reason that it took place all in one room. But you know, that might change around. We might go like down to a lake or something, you know, try some weird stuff. I don't know. But what I do know is that I can open my door now, because the ARG's open. This door can actually open and it won't break immersion entirely. That's the end of this one. This is just a video of me rambling about an ARG that we're actually ending now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, even though it didn't make sense. You know, hopefully you thought it looked cool at the very least, you know, because that's really all I was aiming for, was making something that looked cool. And the story was honestly secondary. The story was 100% secondary. And that's what we're going to fix in this next ARG. We're going to make the story first and foremost, make that the important part, and put that in front of the visuals to convey it better, you know? Basically, I'm going to do better. That's what I'm saying. So that's the end of this video. We're about to do better on this ARG stuff. Expect a wacky type of video showing up pretty soon, like in the next week or so. I want to try to make a bigger project type of video. And you know, not like it's not going to be the FNAF theory. That has to wait until we beat Help Wanted. But you know, something kind of like that, like a longer type of video that's highly edited, you know, not focusing on playing a video game, or maybe, you know, like focusing on playing a video game in a different way, like an Alpha Rad video. Shout outs to people who watch Alpha Rad. Either way, that's the end. Like and subscribe and all that shit if you enjoyed the video. If you want to help out the channel, all that good shit pushes the video around more, helps me out a ton. And with all that being said, I'm going to end the video here. If you want to see more videos I've made, they're appearing on screen now, or at least they should be. I might have forgotten. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Peace out.